Hi, I'm Darby and this is Sawad, and we are going to go through a measurement training process. So we're going to start, we have our measurement form, and I'm going to start by asking you your, what is your height and weight?
5'10", 175.
Okay. And your three initials?
I'll just use two,
Okay.
SB.
SB.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is for is with your custom shirt, your initials will come complimentary to you inside your collar.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Great.
Do you know your off-the-rack shirt size?
It would be 15 and a half and 34 sleeve.
Okay. And do you by chance know your off-the-rack coat size?
39 regular when I can find it.
Okay. We're going to solve that problem for you. Okay, so if you'll just stand there, we're going to start at your neck if you'll
Okay.
face that way. So for the most part, what you want to do, if you're right-handed, you want to stand to the right-hand side of your client, left-handed the other side, and you want to hold the tape in your non-dominant hand because you want your dominant hand to be the guide on the tail of the tape. So if your client has a tie on or if his shirt is buttoned, you're going to ask him to loosen his tie and unbutton his shirt, and you want this tape to go around his neck where it would be underneath the shirt. So what you want to do is you want to respect your client's space. You want to always try to start out at the side. So I'm going to reach around here. I'm going to grab the tape with this, grab the tab there, and I'm going to gently lay this underneath his collar. Okay, very nice. I'm going to step to the front with my finger underneath the little gold tab of the tape in the hollow of his throat, and I'm going to pull the tape that way. Notice I'm not doing that with the tape. I want to make it a continuous circle. I'm going to go to the actual measurement, move it over a ½ inch, and I'm going to ask my client, how does that feel? By sliding my finger there. Swat, how does that feel?
Feels pretty comfortable.
Okay, so I'm going to, again, look at what that actual is and move it, because on your form, there's a place for you to write down the actual measurement and then add the ½ inch that we added to adjust for the comfort of the client. So, because there might be some shrinkage and your client needs to be able to breathe. So the next measurement, if you follow your measurement form, is going to be the overarm. We're going to take this for the coat measurement, but the way you want to approach this, if I try to reach around this way, I'm now officially giving my client a bear hug. What you want, not that SWAD's a bad bear hug, but you want to go as if you're going around the neck, and again, I've got the tail, so I'm going to reach this way, and then I'm going to set the tape right across here, and it's, first of all, notice the tape is horizontal. I'm going across the broadest part of his chest. And SWAT, if I could get you to turn this way so we can show. And also across the broadest part of his back. Again, making sure it's horizontal. Okay? And when you're doing this, if you will take and put your thumbnail on what that measurement is, like that, my thumbnail's right there. That way, if you turn to write it down, and he may say, how many children do you have? And I'm thinking 3, and then I write down the wrong number. So I put my thumbnail right there, and I'm going to write that measurement down. So the next measurement is the chest. So SWAT, if I could get you to put your arms out by your side, please. And again, notice when I'm reaching around my client, I'm going to reach around the back side instead of reaching around the front, and I'm going to set that tape up under his arms. So when I move to the front, I'm going to make sure, now you can put your arms down, I'm going to make sure that that tape is up under his arms. Sometimes their muscles will pull the tape down, sometimes their shirt will pull it down, and again, you want to be on the broadest part of the back. So if I could get you to turn, see how we're across the broadest part of the back and the broadest part of the chest. It should be in the same place where the overall measurement was. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put my thumbnail right there, and you can lift your arms up. There you go. I'm going to turn and I'm going to write that down. All right, so the next measurement is going to be the shirt waist. This is not their trouser waist. That's 2 different measurements. We're going to do the shirt waist. So SWAT, if you put your arms out to your side again, and again, I'm going to reach around, and I'm going to come to the front, and I'm going to ask him if he would point to his belly button. So if you'll point to your belly button, okay? And so when you put your arms down, you're going to be about 1 inch over the belly button. Really what you want to do is encompass the broadest part. So if they have love handles, anything like that. But for the most part, it's right around 1 inch above the waist. Again, you want to make sure that the tape is horizontal. And put my thumbnail on that measurement, and then I'm going to turn and write it down. Okay, next measurement is the hip measurement. So the first thing you want to do is ask your client if they have anything in their pockets.
No.
No? Dang, this is when I like to get the billfold out. Okay, if you'll put your hands up like that.
Okay.
Now this measurement is very important, again, that you measure from the side and you reach around the back side of your client. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach as if I'm reaching for his waist, I'm going to grab the tape, and this way I'm going to step back because you want to be across the broadest part of your client's seat, and you want to make sure it's horizontal. So I've stepped back. Notice I've not pulled this tape in, but when I do, I'm going to put the tape right there on his hip bone, right on the side, and I'm going to check to make sure it's horizontal, and it is. I'm going to put my, and this is one measurement you want to pull the tape firm because you are measuring over trousers. So I'm going to put my thumb right there, and I'm going to turn and write that down. Okay, next measurement is going to be the shoulder measurement. So if I could get you to turn this way for me. So on the shoulder measurement, what you want to do is, that is from this shoulder to shoulder, and the easiest way to determine where that shoulder bone is if you put your hands like this, and you're going to put them up here on the client, and you're going to come down, and when your thumbs are straight up, you should be right there on that client's shoulder bone. Sometimes your shirt will hang longer, so you really want to make sure when you do this, my thumbs are straight up, and you can feel that shoulder bone. So once you have that, you're going to take the tape and put it underneath this hand right there, and I'm going to hold that gold tab. I'm going to go up to the top of the vertebrae, and if you can't feel where that is, swat if you look down at your shoes. When you do that, you can feel that bone. I'm going to transition my hand here, and I'm going to come down, I'm going to put the tape right there where that shoulder bone was, okay? And I can mark it with my thumbnail, and come over and write that down. Okay, so the next measurement is going to be the right sleeve. So I'm going to have you just turn a little bit this way so we can take this. This measurement is going to start from the top of the vertebrae, where we just found. So you're going to take and you're going to put the tape right there, and you're going to come over to where that shoulder bone was, and you're going to transition your hand to hold the tape, and then you're going to ask your client to put his hand by his side with his thumb in, okay? And what you're going to do, if I get you turned just a little bit more, you're going to measure to the top of the crease. So right there, where the top of the crease of his hand is, I'm going to put my thumbnail on it, and I'm going to turn and write that measurement down. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing for the left sleeve. So if I could, that's perfect. Okay? So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put the tape again at the top of the vertebrae. I'm going to come over here, put my hand on his shoulder so I can transition. Have him put his hand by his side. Yep, thumb in. And we're just going to come straight down right there. And I'm going to put my thumb into right where the crease is to mark that measurement. These measurements are not always the same. Sometimes the right arm or the left arm will be a little bit longer. Don't panic about it, but if there is a difference, measure twice. Okay? You can face the front. Okay. Next measurement is going to be the wrist. So if you would put your right wrist up like that for me. What you want to do is take the tape, reach behind the wrist, and put the gold tab right there on that wrist bone. And when you bring the tape around, just set it slightly to the side so you can see what that exact measurement is. And I'm going to put my thumb on it and turn and write that down. So you'll notice on your measurement form there's two boxes, and this is to make an adjustment or an allowance if your client wears a watch. So why do you wear a watch when you wear your dress shirt?
I do, yes.
And you always wear it on your left wrist?
Yes.
So you'll go to your measurement form, and in the box by left wrist, you're going to mark that box. So I need to measure your left wrist. Could I get you to remove your watch, please? Sometimes they can slide the watch up on their wrist a little bit. Again, you're going to reach around behind the wrist, put the tape, the gold tab on the tape right there, and you're going to come up and you're going to take that measurement. Again, it's not unusual to have a difference in the right wrist and the left wrist. And I'm going to turn and I'm going to write that down. Okay, so the next measurement is the shirt length. That's the length of the shirt where the tail is going to go. So the starting point of that is kind of the top where the neck and the shoulder meet, but you really want to get at the highest part. So the easiest way to do that is not necessarily where this seam is. It's really, if it were on a hanger, if you'll take your hands and do this and push that up, and that will take you right there to the top. So once you've done that, take your tape and put the gold tab right there. You're going to come right across the front. That way, if your client has a tummy, it will encompass the tummy. And then I'm going to ask Swat if he will please take his hand, and you ask him to hold it. So he's holding it. I'm going to also ask him if he'll put his thumb out like that. I'm going to grab my pen. I'm going to step back, because what you want to do is we're actually taking the measurement to the bottom of the fly. But if they're wearing gym clothes, a tracksuit, something you can't tell, you can kind of use the measurement from the bottom of the thumb. So I'm going to step back in a way with my pen, and I'm going to determine what that measurement is. And I'm going to step back. I'm going to put my thumb on the measurement and say thank you very much. Also note, make sure your client does not look down. If your client looks down, it's going to make the shirt a couple inches shorter. So make sure your client's looking straight ahead. And I'm going to write that measurement down. This is a great one to use your quick check chart at the bottom to make sure their height correlates. So that's all you need this tape for. Now we're going to take the measurement for the trousers. So you're going to get your trouser measurement belt, which is this belt. I'm going to ask Swat if he could remove his belt, please. The desired result is to get this belt as close to their skin as possible. So if he measures on top of his trousers and on top of his shirt, it's going to be a little large. So I'm going to ask Swat if you could scoot your trousers down just a little bit. And it's okay to tell them that you need this as close to their skin as possible. And if you will put this on where you normally wear your belt, because that's going to help you determine the fit on your client's trousers. And you want him to put the pin through the tang. Okay.
I think this is it.
Okay, so standing to the side, I'm going to just slide my finger under there and make sure it's comfortable. It's not too tight. I can get 2 fingers under there. And check the back. Sometimes the back will have a gape right there. Make sure that you've pushed that gape in if you'll step to the front. So how does that feel?
It feels good.
Okay, now he wants to take the belt off really badly right now, and you just need to ask him to please keep your belt on. The measurement you're going to take is exactly where that pin goes through, so I'm going to turn and write that down. And the next tape you're going to get is this tape, it has a little hook on it right there. This is our outseam measuring tool. So what you're going to do is you're going to slide this right on the belt. You're going to hook it to the belt where the seam of his trousers goes down. And where you're going to measure to the well of the shoe. That is where the sole meets the heel. So you're going to go down here if they have a dress shoe on. And you're going to put your thumb right in there. And I'm not pulling on the tape at all. I've just laid it down and I've put my thumb right in there. And I'm going to put my fingernail on the measurement, and I'm going to turn and write that down. Okay? If they are wearing a tennis shoe, a flip-flop, anything like that, just measure to the floor. Have them take that off and measure to the floor. So you're going to take and do the same thing on the other side. Once you get used to this, you can have the client do the work for you, and when you're down there measuring, you can have them turn, but for teaching purposes, I'm going to go ahead and go over here. So same thing, I'm going to just hook the belt right here, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to put my thumb right on the tape where the shoe meets the well, or the heel meets the well of the shoe. I'm going to turn and write that down. Remember, put your thumbnail there. And remember, it is not unusual for them to have 2 different leg measurements, so if it's garishly different, measure those twice. And that is your measurement training video. Thank you.